Hi guys, welcome to the channel where we discuss everything football, and I'm here to give you updates on what happened over the weekend in the European leagues, especially some of the most important fixtures that took place over the weekend. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video, and leave your comments down below. On Friday, Manchester City hosted Wolves at home. The game ended 1-0 in favor of Manchester City. The only goal was scored by Kevin De Bruyne and assisted by Jeremy Doku. On Saturday, the Gunners hosted Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium. In fact, I was quite surprised to see Arteta fielding his strongest XI, seeing that Liverpool have already won the league and they still have a game to play in the Champions League fixture second leg against the Parisians on Wednesday. Unfortunately for the Gunners, they lost at home to Bournemouth, a game that ended 2-1 in favor of Bournemouth. Another interesting fixture that took place over the weekend was between Brentford and also Manchester United. It was a 7-goal game, and then it was in favor of Brentford, 4-3 against Manchester United. I am not surprised Manchester United lost to Brentford. In fact, it was quite expectant. We've known that their league form is very bad this season, but their performances in the European League have been spectacular. And then I think they have all their eyes on the European competition this season to qualify them to the Champions League. Chelsea hosted the champions of England at home at Stamford Bridge, a game that Chelsea won comfortably 3-1 against Liverpool. Yes, that was quite shocking because Liverpool have already won the league. I expected Ancelotti to give more of the youth players some chance in this game, but we saw their strongest XI in this game, and Chelsea won this game by 3-1. So this is how the league table looks at the end of match day 35 in the EPL. Arsenal set second with 67 points. Manchester City third with 64 points. Newcastle in the fourth position with 63 points. Chelsea fifth with 63 points. Nottingham Forest sixth with 60 points with the game in hand. And Aston Villa seventh with 60 points. In La Liga, Barcelona traveled to Valladolid in a game that they narrowly won by 2-1. Hansi Flick decided to rest most of his players for the Inter match on Tuesday. In the early stages of the first half, Valladolid shocked Barcelona with a goal in the 6th minute. At halftime, it was 1-0 against Barcelona. Hansi Flick needed to do something to salvage this mess in the second half. Now, players like Rafinha and also Lamine Yamal came off from the bench. And then Rafinha scored as well as Fermin Lopez to give Barcelona the 2-1 lead over Valladolid. Now, Real Madrid hosted Celta Vigo at the Santiago Bernabeu in a game that we saw 5 goals. Now, it was one of the best first half I've seen Real Madrid play this season. Now, in the first half, they were leading up 2 goals. Going into the second half, Kylian Mbappe scored right after the second half, making it 3-0. Now, things really took a different turn in the second half, whereby Celta Vigo came back into the game with 2 goals. The game ended 3-2 in favor of Real Madrid. Betis traveled to Espanyol in a fixture whereby they won narrowly 2-1 against Espanyol. Betis continued their good form in the league, and Antony continues his good form. Bilbao traveled to Real Sociedad in a fixture that ended 0-0 draw. In fact, I was quite disappointed seeing that in last week's fixture against Manchester United, there were 3 goals deficit. They couldn't score any goal, maybe due to the red card, but it was a poor performance by Bilbao. And yesterday's game, I expected Bilbao to at least have a goal or 2 in this game, but unfortunately, they couldn't score in this game. This is how the league table looks in the Spanish La Liga after game week 34. Barcelona at top of the table with 79 points. Real Madrid second with 75 points. Atletico Madrid third with 67 points. Athletic Bilbao fourth with 61 points, and also Villarreal fifth with 58 points. Betis sixth with 57 points, and Celta Vigo seventh with 46 points. On Saturday in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich played away at Leipzig. Now, in fact, it was a game that ended 3-3 draw. If Bayern Munich had won this game, they would have lifted the Bundesliga title. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't do so. Luckily for them, on a Sunday, that's the following day, the game between Bayern Leverkusen and also Freiburg ended 2-2 draw, which saw Bayern Munich lift the trophy or crown the Bundesliga champions this season. That is to say that Harry Kane now has a trophy to his name as a professional striker. Seeing that he has scored a lot of goals in his career, he needed this trophy to back it up. And I'm sure that there are going to be more trophies to come so long as he stays at Bayern Munich. In the Italian Serie A, Napoli continues their good form in this season. They scored 1-0 away at least. Inter Milan, bearing in mind the game against Barcelona, rotated their squad heavily. In fact, they changed the whole XI in this game. And then they won narrowly at home against Verona, which is a goal to 1 in this fixture. And I'm sure that coming into the game on Tuesday, Inter have all to play for in the return leg. From the camp of Barcelona, we have some good and bad news in terms of injury. The squad list for the game against Inter Milan is already out. Now, Kobasi, Araujo, Inigo Martinez, Gavi, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Lewandowski. Yes, Lewandowski is ready and fit to feature in this game. Ansu Fati, Rafinha, Inaki Pena, Christensen, Fermin Lopez, Pa Victor, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Frankie de Jong, Eric Chesney, Astralaga, Hector Fort, Gerard Martin, Landry, and David. Unfortunately, we didn't see Joe Skunde and also Alejandro Balde in this fixture. That is to tell you that they were not able to recover in time for the second leg against Inter Milan. And rumors have it that Hansi Flick is going to field a different back line against Inter Milan coming Tuesday. I'll make a separate video about the Champions League second leg matches between Inter Milan and Barcelona, PSG and Arsenal in my next video. Stay tuned and see you guys soon.